Where can you find successful young women? Well, you'll find them studying, you'll find them working hard, and you're finding them trying to achieve their goals. Hi, my name is Valerie Bogar, and this is Insight, and I'm here joined with 3 young, successful women, and they're going to talk to us about AXO and what that all means. But first, how about you guys introduce yourselves? Let's start with you, okay?
Hello, I'm Rebecca Cooper. I attend Fort Walton Beach High School.
Hi, I'm Christina Taylor, and I attend Fort Walton Beach too.
Hello, I am Jessica Schaus, and I attend Fort Walton Beach High School.
Well, you guys, I'm glad you guys are on the show, so thank you for being here. And we did talk a little bit about what you guys do, and you're part of a thing called AXO. And Jessica, can you do me a big favor, because probably the people who are watching aren't sure what AXO is. Could you tell us what AXO is, please?
AXO is Academic, Cultural, Technological, and Scientific Olympics.
That was a tongue twister right there. I don't know. Can you say it like 10 times faster? But it sounds like with that program, it actually is focusing on your academics, so that your core subjects like math and sciences and technology, and also focusing on like arts, like fine arts, performing arts, and stuff like that. And so the cool thing is you guys are all in different categories. Am I correct? So you're all in different things. So I'm excited to talk to you guys and figure out what you guys do on the for the competition. And other stuff that you guys do, okay? So how about let's start with Jessica. So what did you audition for or whatever with AXO?
Well, I did painting.
Okay.
And my painting was a self-portrait of myself, and it's abstract, and it's inspired by Henry Matisse's Portrait with Green Stripe. And his piece was a reflection of the Fauvism movement in the early 20th century. And my piece is based on the colors and the emotions they display, because I use the complementary colors purple and yellow. And the yellow represents how overwhelmed with joy I am about what the Lord has in store for me in my bright future. And the purple represents my spirituality and my Christian ethics. It is a temper painting, but in areas such as the background, I used a gradient effect, and also in the hair to create detail and to achieve value. And this helps to efface my cultural influence, which is natural African American hair. And I also use a lot of gold hues in the hair to represent how spiritually a woman's hair is her glory. It's like her crown. And by using gold, I can give it a royal and wealthy feel. And my piece just screams Fauvism because of use of vivid, non-naturalistic colors and my use of brush strokes in the face and in the background.
I just have to tell you that was really deep. When I draw a picture, it's like, here's a flower. I have a flower because it's pretty. I love, but with that, just listening to you, I can tell you and art, you must love painting, right?
Yes, I'm very into art.
Okay, so how did you hear about AXO? Like, what made you try out for this competition?
Well, I heard about it in the Black community at a NAACP conference thing they had for the Trayvon Martin thing. And I heard about it from one of my mom's friends, and I was in 8th grade at the time, so of course I couldn't be eligible for it. But then when I got 9th grade and I heard it on the intercom at school, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. So I went, and I was already doing a painting at the time, so I'm like, I'm gonna do this because, it has a lot of Black influence because of my hair and stuff, and that was what I wanted to focus on in the first place. And I did it, and I was a freshman, so I was like, I think this is a really long shot. But I went for it, and I made it. So it's going to be a really awesome trip.
So is this like your first competition with AXO?
Yes.
Okay, but you just heard about it earlier, and you're just like really excited about it. So I heard that you said that, I already had like a painting. So you were already planning on just doing this, like as a hobby or on the side?
It was for art class, and we were doing our self-portraits. And I didn't have it like done or anything. I just had like the draft of it.
Right.
And I heard about this competition. I'm like, well, I can use it to get my inspiration from and start from there.
Right.
And add more emotion and depth into it to put it in the competition. So that actually helped me bring out my picture even more, make it even better.
Right. Well, that's cool. And then just in case there's anybody else that's watching this and is like, hey, I want to get into that. So could you just tell us, like, when you had to do, because you had to do a competition here locally, right? Could you just give us, like, briefly, like, what you had to do for that competition?
Well, basically, before I went to the competition, or
For the
during?
one that's here, because I believe that you compete here, right, locally, and then the winner from that goes to national. So what did you have to do here for the local competition?
Well, locally, I just had to present what I did in my painting and the techniques and the type of paint I used, and I told that to the judges, and the judges might ask you a couple questions if you didn't say it while you're presenting.
Right.
And that's basically it. It's not that, you can have up to 3 minutes to talk, and that's basically it. It's really simple.
Well, that's cool. So, just your excitement and just, about doing it and this competition, I'm pretty sure there's other people who are watching this like, hey, I want to do that. It seems like fun. So I'm understanding that you all are actually gold medalists. Am I correct? Yes. And so you all get to go where?
Vegas.
Vegas. All right. But you're underage, so, okay.
No gambling.
But, exactly. But, so when you found out, Jessica, that when you won, how did that feel when you found out?
I was just like, I just jumped up. I was just so excited. It was just, I was like, oh my gosh. And then all the other, the seniors and stuff were just walking all cool, and I was a freshman, so I'm like,
I tripped over myself.
and they couldn't put the medal over my head because I had puffs.
Right.
It's for my picture and stuff, and they couldn't fit over my head because of my hair and stuff. It was funny.
Well, that's great. I love just hearing, I looked over on the website too, but I think this competition's good because, you get to meet people and then also learn what it's like to actually compete. I mean, this helps you in the real world, right? I mean, and also because you have to communicate and talk about your piece, and you did an excellent job with that. So thank you, Jessica, for talking about your artwork. I can't wait to see it. All right, Christina, so what did you have to do for the EXO?
I did a video. It was inspired by MTV's Live Above the Influence, their commercials that they show on TV and stuff. And it inspired me to make a video of showing that all teenagers aren't just alike, that there are still some good ones out there that do adventurous things, that go on adventures and don't succumb under the peer pressure of their peers and do drugs and party and all that we actually try to find ourselves in high school instead of drowning it in alcohol and partying. We try to go out in the world and live our lives.
Wow. So what inspired you to actually do this piece?
Well, during one of our classes for our computer classes, we always look at videos of skateboarding and people around the world, how they live their lives and make careers of skateboarding or being DJs or something.
Right.
And it inspired me to be well, if they can go out in the world as adults and stuff,
right,
what about me and my friends? Can we go out in the world and do adventurous things and not just go mainstream and all that? Just go out in the world and live life.
That sounds like a plan. So with filming, so when did you start going I really want to get into this? What made it, were you young or just recent? When did you actually hey, this is my thing?
I did AXO freshman year and sophomore year, and I didn't know anything about filmmaking when they gave me the sheet to sign up because it was mandatory for minority council, and I did it, and I was just oh, okay, filmmaking, that sounds easy. All I have to do is film something and then put it in a CD, and then I'm done. And I did that freshman year, and the video, it wasn't so great. And then sophomore year, it got a little better, but not the greatest. And then I met the VTV, or Viking Television's teacher that does all the videos and stuff and helps the students out that create VTV.
Right.
And I asked him if I could be part of VTV because the second year that I did it, I got interested into filmmaking and making videos and editing and stuff and trying to better myself. And so I asked him and he said yes. And so this past year, my junior year, I went into VTV and I got experience with the camera, with editing, and got certified in Premiere and just...
Wow, what the interesting thing is, I'm hearing what you're taking out of AXO. So for you, it was it's something to do. And then it developed into a skill that you actually learned, which is very important. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of careers that you can think of where this can be useful. So it's kind of cool to hear that AXO actually helped you develop a new skill and a new interest. So that's really cool. And lastly, we have Rebecca here on the show. So how about you tell us, what did you enter in for the competition?
I entered in humanities or humanitarian, which I did in that category. I did poetry.
Okay.
So my poem is called Growing in Me, and it's about a tree that is, well, myself is the tree, and they're farmers and gardeners, and the farmers and gardeners are like the world or society in the world. And it's the tree that's going through all these gardeners and farmers, all these different things. Like, you know how you plant, you probably try different soils on a plant or something. And at the end it says there's no fruit to gain from, meaning that society has overwhelmed this tree that it can't hold itself up anymore. So myself, I am the tree, but yet the society has overwhelmed me to where it's like I haven't grown from anything I have learned in society. So basically it's like I have to grow naturally by myself.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow. It's just interesting hearing you guys describe it. I can tell this is something that you guys love.
Yes.
So what got you into poetry?
Well, when I was younger, I loved writing. Like, I would read books. And I was like, oh, I want to try writing a book. I remember when I was like 7, I tried writing a whole book by myself. I never finished it. But and also there was this lady when I was younger who did a blessing over me. It says that I will always write something. Like, she'll says that always keep a pen and a piece of paper with you, because always write down what you think. Ever since that, I carry a notebook with me. I always write, like, a poem will like come through my head. I always write it down. It is just like, it feels like it's a blessing to me, like it's a calling, like to write stuff down.
Well, that's great. You sound a little bit like my mother. She loves writing and everything. So actually, and we're about to go on break, but before that, we actually have a little video clip showing last year's competition, the 2013 AXO National Competition, which was held in Orlando. So go ahead and check out that short clip, and be sure to stay tuned with us here on Insight.
AXO was marvelous. Just the whole experience, being in one place with people who are as good as you are in the things that you do and enjoy what they do as you do. It's indescribable.
I met a lot of people from all over the country, you know, a lot of good competitions, and I got to, meet a lot of my competitors and see some good stuff.
AXO has been an amazing experience for me. You never get a chance to be around this many people that are as serious about your craft as you are at the same time, and it's all love here. Like, everybody is so positive and motivating.
Don't be afraid, don't be intimidated, because it's not about, who's better. It's about inspiration, encouraging, you learning new things, and you're going to take all this new information and all the friends you meet, and hopefully it's going to carry on till 20 years from now.
It's a good learning experience to give us all time to, get actual experience in doing what potentially we want to do for a lifetime.
One word, how I would sum up AXO, is empowering.
Inspiring.
Divine.
AXO is amazing.
Our commitment to the community is something that we believe in and act on every single day. It's a key part of our culture and who we are as a company.
Cox donates millions of dollars in cash and in-kind services to support local nonprofit and civic organizations each year. We recognize that a healthy community is a growing community. Here's a look at just a few of the organizations we support right here in Northwest Florida.
We're extremely proud of all these local partnerships.
Together, we are working to make the Gulf Coast thrive.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks. Visit us at stoptextstoprex.org.
As a business owner, you know you need to stand out, highlighting what makes you unique. Cox Media understands that. So when it's time to get creative, to match message to image, where do you start? The Cox Media Creative Department helps translate your business strategy into creative strategy. Words, pictures, the whole show. We do compelling campaigns for video, the web, even video on the web. Be heard and be remembered. Let Cox Media customize a creative campaign for you.
And we're back here on Insight. And just to let you know what we covered, I was here joined with 3 young women, and they are actually gold medalists from AXO, and they're actually going on to compete in Las Vegas. And also, right before we left, we actually showed a really video clip, a really short one, of last year's that was in 2013, and that was in Orlando, and that looked really cool. Like, I enjoyed seeing the video, and it was just exciting to see all the different types of competition. There was like singing and acting, all that stuff. So it was really exciting. So, and you guys are on your way to Las Vegas soon. And with you, Jessica, so you're doing painting, like we covered before. And we get to see a little bit of your picture and everything. So when you have to do your competition in Las Vegas, do you actually have to present it, or how does that work?
I have to present it just like I did in the local competition.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. So you just kind of say briefly about it and kind of how you did it here. Well, that's cool. So what other things do you do in this area? Because you actually had to do, when you apply to be an AXO, did you actually have to do community service, or did they want you to do that? No, but you are really involved in the community, because I'm pretty sure. So what kind of things have you done in the community?
Well, I volunteered at SOX, which is a cat shelter, and I help out with the cats. Mm-hmm. And I volunteered at this kid festival called Conjunction Function, and I face painted for free on kids' faces. Right. And that was really fun. It helped me get more comfortable with painting, especially like body paint. Mm-hmm. And most of all, I've been currently volunteering at Youth Village, which has been so much fun. And I've been helping out with the kids and with the older kids, little and older, helping out with like their exercise and art and drama, and that's all been fun, and I'm glad to help.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned about that, and you love doing community service. And if you ladies like to do some community service as well, you can go ahead and join Jessica, right? You know, it'll be fun working with the kiddos. But you work with all kinds of things, so you went from cats to kids, right? All right. Well, I really like listening to your story, and I wish I could join you in Vegas. And then with you had a film, correct, Christina?
Yes.
And the cool thing is you actually brought it here, and I'm really excited. So we're actually going to show a portion of Christina's film that she had entered in for AXO. Let's check it out. Wow, that was a great film. I loved it. I love the music behind it, and it had like a story, with it. It seemed pretty interesting, so I really liked that. But I do have a question to ask you. Like, how did you pick the people that was in the film?
For Viking Television, we actually have groups we pick out each year. They're kind of like teams, and each week we have to make up a video, film it, and then edit it all in a week, which sounds not that bad, but it's actually really hard because you have to spend like a day in class, just like 50 minutes each day, like picking out what you're going to make for a creative video to bring out a message. And my group, which was 4 other girls, we actually got together. They were like, okay, we'll help you with this video since you have to do it for AXO. And they helped me film it, and I just edited it. So.
Oh, that was really good. I mean, you have some really good skills there. And I'm pretty sure you'll be definitely needed in the future when you graduate. Do you know about what you want to do when you grow up, or you're still thinking about it?
I know I just want to go into law when I go into college, just like major in that. That's all I know, to be honest.
Well, that's good, and then you can document, things. Maybe just film them. I know what you did, I don't know. All right, well, thank you. I love watching that. And then we're left here with Rebecca, and you talked about your poetry. Could you give us like a little briefing? Can you just do a little bit? I know you didn't want to I guess reveal to everybody ahead of time, but can you just give us a little bit of your poem?
Yes.
Okay.
The roots lie deep in my concrete. Thoughts growing each day, twisting it, turning it, contaminating it. I'm not the typical gardener or farmer, as this is no typical tree, not born of nature, but adopted baby. They say water is life. Well, this tree seeks not water, but life. Is it dead or alive? Maybe both at the same time. I give it breath, it takes life. It's my conscious being, my life that it feeds on. That's about it.
Okay, that's fine. That's great.
Yeah.
I love that. I kind of put you on the spot there. It's like, hey, recite your poem.
Yeah.
But you did a great job.
Yeah.
And I also heard, too, that you went on a trip recently, right? So
Correct.
where did you go, and what was it for?
I went on a missions trip to Guatemala, and I stayed at an orphanage, and it was really fun. It's an eye-opening of life itself. I go there to help others and teach them, but I came back feeling taught myself, and they helped me. So it was great going there and observing everything around me and being able to help others. And I climbed a volcanic mountain. It was great.
Exciting.
It was great.
Wow.
Okay, it's just like, don't ever climb a mountain in Toms. Don't, because you will ruin your shoes.
Oh. Yeah, you probably had to prepare for that one. So how long was the hike?
It was about, to me, they said it was 3 miles, but it was about 8 miles, 9 miles. It was crazy.
Oh, so to them they said 3 miles, but to you it was like, no, 8 miles. That's interesting. So your own little system of measurement there.
Yeah.
But it sounds exciting. So it's really great, you guys are on the show, and to hear, successful young women, because I think a lot of times in the news and the papers and stuff, it's a lot of negativity with young people, and even with women. I think a lot of times they're not really, I don't think we're spoken really positive about, but just listening to what you guys are doing, and I think you with going into doing in the community and helping out people from cats to children, I think that's great. And then what you're doing with learning and wanting to learn about, learning new skills, a lot of people don't do that. So that's really, really important that you have the desire to wanting to learn new skills, and you have this adventurous spirit, and you just want to go out and explore the world and also share with others and help them. So I really appreciate you guys being on the show. And you guys are going to Las Vegas, and I understand it's a really long trip, so you guys probably need a little help, right? So if someone wanted to help you out, Jessica, so if someone wanted to help you out, so what would they have to do? How would they, do they reach your mom or contact the organization who's running it? How would that help if they wanted to help you guys fund this trip?
Well, they would have to contact Art Blakely, and he's the leader of our local AXO branch, which is Okaloosa County branch of 5633.
Okay.
You can contact him by email or phone, and that's how you can give the donation.
All right, do you know his number by heart? It's all
Not
right.
by heart, I'm sorry, not
It's
by heart.
fine. All right, yeah, I'm like doing it like with her in our poem, but that's okay. We'll actually put it on the website. So you heard that if you heard these young ladies, and there's 3 other young ladies that's actually also going on this great trip. So if you want to fund this trip or help them out, you can, and you can go to insighttelevision.org, and we'll actually have all the information there on how to contact. And also, if you want to go, if you have a child that's in high school and who wants to be involved in AXO, we'll have the information there, and that's for next year. Does anybody know about when they do auditions or for AXO, when you had to apply? Do you remember what you did for this year?
You don't have to do auditions. It's just that you get a paper from a minority council or multicultural, which they call it at Niceville. Okay. You get a paper from them, you fill it out, and you check whatever you want to do. Like, they have it in categories. Like, mine was humanitarians, which I did poetry. And they have science and technology. They have art and music. And also, you fill it out. And if you have a poem or a song, you put the title, you do your name, you turn it back to that teacher. And there's a deadline to turn it in, but it'll probably be after spring break. The deadline is usually after spring break.
Okay, so that means it gives them some time. So after watching this, hopefully they're like, you know what, let me think of something I can do, and you have a few time to work on that. And maybe we'll see some people who watch this show that actually got inspired by you guys and get gold as well, and go off to wherever they'll have the nationals by that time. So what do you guys, we'll start with you, Christina. What are you looking forward to in this trip?
I'm looking forward to meeting other filmmakers and seeing their techniques and what they do, how they shoot from different angles and what editing software they use, and just meet other people.
That's great. And Jessica, what are you looking forward to this trip?
I'm looking forward to seeing all the different paintings and drawings, because I'm probably I'm the youngest eligible grade group of people. So I'm gonna get to see all these seniors and juniors and other sophomores pictures that have even more experience than me, and I can learn from it and then improve upon my own pictures in the future. So
that's good. And what about you?
My competition.
Keep it short and sweet. My competition. I'm ready for you. Well, you heard it. And this was all about young women who's doing a great job, and they're very successful. And we really appreciate you guys being on the show, and we really appreciate you guys for watching us right here on Insight.